Hello, coin collectors out there. Here is my row of 1970s quarter, featuring this one right here, the bicentennial quarter. But we're not going to talk about most of those ones. We're going to talk about these two right here. Now, these are both 1970s quarters. So the 1970s quarters, interestingly, has a couple of known errors, one of which is very, very, very valuable. Neither of these are necessarily new stories, but I did a little research on them and kind of going to bring some information to my audience that might not have caught the story the first time around. So the 1970 quarter, they're the most valuable known error is this very special one where a 1970 quarter was printed on a 1941 Canadian quarter. Now that it's a proof quarter from the San Francisco Mint, so it's going to have a S mint mark on it, and it's going to have that dark kind of cameo mirror kind of proof-like finish to it. But it's going to have kind of the outline of George the Sixth, I believe, kind of going like across the face of the quarter. So that coin is currently selling on eBay right now. This story is probably a few months old, and that coin is currently selling for $35,000 on eBay. However, it might not be worth that much given the fact that this is an old story and that coin is still selling. It's graded by the NGC, which gives it some authoritative value to it. NGC rated it as a Washington quarter struck on a Canadian quarter with a rating of PF 65. So that's the first error that I wanted to discuss with you. The second is a much more common error. It is a kind of a thin planchet. So there were some 1970s quarters that were struck on dime planchets. So what that's going to look like, it's going to be the same diameter around, except the thickness is going to be much thinner. So you'll be able to notice if you have one by, well, I guess one way is that it would get rejected by a vending machine. So if you pull a 1970 quarter out of the kind of rejected coins section of a vending machine or a Coinstar, you might have one of those specialty dimes that's not the correct weight. Another way you can tell or you can verify that feeling is correct is by actually weighing the coin. And if the quarter weighs less than 5.76 grams, then it's going to be one of these error coins. Now, I don't have a scale on me. That's something that I really should get so I can verify any error coins that I have. But it looks like from the people I've seen on YouTube, that the more advanced you get, the more kind of equipment you can kind of start to accumulate. So I've got one of those USB microscopes that I recently purchased. So now a scale might be the next thing to get on that list. So put that on the scale. If it weighs less than 5.76 grams, then you have a error coin there. And there were approximately 100,000 of those made. So those are the type of that second type is definitely something that you could pull out of circulation. Here's my other 1970 quarter. Nothing special about this one. I just thought you should take a look. Other error types are double dies, die cracks, die gouges. You can look for those as well. You're probably already familiar with those. So the mintage of the regular 1970 quarter, there were 136,000 of these made at the Philadelphia Mint, 417, that was 136 million of them made at the Philly Mint, 417 million at the Denver, and 2 million proof coins made at the old San Francisco Mint. So of the coins that I showed you there, the coins that I showed you earlier, there's also something that's pretty interesting. There's a noticeable gap between 1974 and the 1976 quarter. And that's because in 1975 they actually didn't produce any of those coins in 1975 because they were just holding on to them and waiting for that special bicentennial quarter to come around. And now the bicentennial quarter has got some really high mintages to it. So if you've got one that you've been hanging on to for a while, other than just hanging on to it because you think it's got a cool design, it's probably not going to be worth anything more than face value, just because it's a coin that was intended for people to hoard, so they made an absolute ton of them. Other than the bicentennial quarter, the second most popular quarter that was made in 1970s was the 1974 Philadelphia Mint. There were 801 million of those made in 1974. So I'll start to wrap up the video. If you're into coin collecting, please do like, comment, and share, subscribe to this video, and check out some of the other videos on my channel. If you have any suggestions about coin videos to make, please do let me know. I could always use good ideas as far as what you might be interested in seeing. So take care and have a great day, everyone. Bye.